And what were some undergrad takeaways that you wanted to share?
Um, yeah, so I think the main ones from undergrad or what that experience was like for me was I really learned a lot about myself and how I study best and the conditions under which I learn or work the best. Because I think maybe like many other people, like high school was really easy for me. Like I barely studied and did well, but then yeah, undergrad hit and you're like, oh wow, I really actually need to figure this out. So through much trial and error, I did, and a lot of that learning has I carried that into my master's and now into work as well. Um, I also did learn a lot of really important theories and various information and knowledge from my courses, much of which are still applicable to my work today and my personal life as well. So I do feel really grateful for that. When I was learning it, there were times where I was like, well, when am I ever going to use this? But yeah, it does it does pay off to pay attention in classes and especially the theories, like the foundational stuff. It does come back. They're foundational for a reason. So that was money well spent in the end.
That's good to hear. And after undergrad, you moved on to become a program coordinator at the University of British Columbia, or UBC. How do you come across that, and what do you do in that position?
Yeah, so I came across this job because so right after undergrad, the last semester of my undergrad was hard, I have to say, and I really feel for and I now when I work with clients who are kind of in that phase, like I really tell them like it's really challenging and what a big transition. And so I did try to apply for jobs to have it lined up, but I just couldn't find anything. I didn't have anything lined up, and so I basically over the summer I applied to like over 50 jobs in kind of like a month and a bit. And I found this job through the University of British Columbia's job site. And I basically that summer I had three interviews from those 50 plus applications and two job offers. And so this was one of them. And I am so glad I accepted it. This was pivotal. Like looking back now, it's been over 10 years that I since I've been in that job, and it really took me down the trajectory that I am on now. So I was hired to be a program coordinator for a medical elective for family medicine residents who then get paired with a psychiatrist in either a jail or prison or some sort of specialized kind of criminal court in the Lower Mainland, in the Vancouver area. But because we didn't have actually that many residents that were interested in this program, it's pretty niche. I also helped out with the community-based participatory research programs it was with the Center for Excellence in Prison Health and Education. So they were doing some research, and so I got to work on that, and we were working directly with and for people with incarceration experience, and so it was just huge for me. I learned it was a ton of stuff in just that 1 year, and it also really cemented for me that I did want to do a master's in public health, and pretty quickly I realized that, and so I was able to kind of apply and get in for the year after. Yeah.
And how did public health come up for you? Because you did bachelor's in psychology, anthropology, and I'd imagine that a lot of the work is in like public health realm of spaces, but many times we don't hear about like public health. So how did that come up for you?
Yeah. So yeah, during my undergrad, I ended up by the end taking mostly health psychology and medical anthropology classes, which is how I got introduced to the field of public health. I think it was one of my kind of friends in one of the classes who was kind of saying like, yeah, I want to study public health, and I was like, oh, what's that? And kind of looked into it. And then in my last semester, especially after that internship with the Institute for Health and Social Policy, I decided, yeah, this is my goal, and I'm gonna work for maybe a year or two and get some work experience and get some money. And so because I was already working at UBC with that job in prison health, I applied there. I liked living in Vancouver, and I was also expanding my professional network here through the job. But I also applied to Simon Fraser University, the other kind of big university in the Lower Mainland area, the University of Toronto, and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. I got into all except the London School, and actually I was in London for vacation a few weeks ago, and I went to the campus and I stood in front. I went like as far into the building as I could, and was just kind of like feeling a bit I don't know what the emotion was, but like, oh, imagine if I came here, my life would be so different. But it's fine. It's a very competitive, prestigious program. So
Yeah, we can only look back and reflect on it. We can't change. We can only move forward.
yeah, exactly.